This time of year can be really tough emotionally for some people. The holidays are coming and maybe family is far away and the weather is turning colder.
Maybe you've got financial problems. You've lost a job, and all of that works together to bring you down and make life seem so tough at a time when you know you're supposed to be happy. And I think that's the problem for a lot of people. It's the pressure to be joyous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Veronica
and the pressure to please everyone around the holiday season as well.
Yeah. Just so many things to do. Veronica Sites is a professional crisis counselor in Crowley. She joins us live now. Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning.
Well, let's talk about this winter depression and the specificity of the holidays.
Okay. It's common. You nailed it right on the expectations of, memories that people have growing up and, how joyous it was, and now something's happened. It's not that way. And then you've also got the seasonal impact. Today we've got a pretty overcast, hazy day, and a lack of sun and exposure to it does contribute to a lot of it, because the natural vitamin D that we get from that is less in abundance, and also people are not getting outside nearly as much.
I guess that could be called seasonal affective disorder, and it's a real thing.
It is a real thing. You see studies show that, different parts of the country that have less sun and, more dreary overcast weather do have higher incidence of that form of depression. But also for many people, the holidays represent, whether it's a loss of job, loss of a loved one, a significant estranged relationship, the absence of those things where it was a sense of security, a sense of, some form of identity in relationship, it really heightens the level of grief, absence, and difficulty that people have with loneliness.
Yeah. Well, those things, of course, are always very difficult to deal with, but they are part of life. At least other times of the year, you don't have the added pressure of this belief that we're all supposed to be joyous and Grandma and Grandpa are going to show up on the front porch with brightly decorated packages. There is no Norman Rockwell Christmas these days. It's just not a reality, and it's hard for people to not feel that there's something wrong with them because they don't feel that way.
And that's one of the big things that I deal with is, when I come in and I work with clients, work with groups after traumatic events, is, normalize what is common to the circumstances that they're in and in light of the situation that they are moving through. Because we even ourselves, it's not just, people around us and the peer pressure, it is the self-expectations that we place on ourselves that are really beyond reasonable to how the brain, the body, the psyche, all the emotions kind of interact following something that may be a first time for individuals. And, we impose these expectations to the demand of ourselves that we live up to our own expectations and the expectations of other people. And that's it's not only unrealistic, it's not helpful to processing.
I was reading an article recently that, I forget where it was, but that married couples fight more often in December, and there are more divorces in January than any time of the year.
That's correct. There's a lot of, symptomatic, those things are there, maybe leading up to the holidays, but the holidays representation of, again, you've got the triggers of having to be with family, needing to be with family, the expectations of being there, or putting up the, unfortunately, sometimes a facade that everything is okay through the holidays, knowing deep down that individuals are not. Add to that finances, which is one of the biggest triggers for people to argue over anyway. And then the first of the year, of course, many divorces are filed for, and it increases because it represents a new year, resolve, and start over. And, it's pretty daunting on statistics. And statistically, the stress levels are so high that Christmas Day is the highest incident rate of heart attacks as well.
Yeah. We're talking with Veronica Sites, professional crisis counselor in Crowley. We're talking about Blue Christmas. We're talking about depression that so many people have to deal with this time of year. This is the whole conversation is becoming a downer. Now let's talk about what we can do to make ourselves feel better.
Well, one of the most important things that people can do is recognize that, historically, whatever has been, you need to decide today, this season, at this time, this is what I will do for my wellness. There is help out there. There's no shame in, reaching out and saying, I'm struggling and I want a different direction this time, because ultimately, when somebody decides for themselves that they're going to take action to move in a different direction, number one, that's needed. Number two, you need the resources, skills, and support around you to lead you through that place that you want to be, but you're not sure how to get there. So reach out to people and find individuals in your, localized friendship community to encourage, speak life into you, and support you to the end of the goal that you want, which is a little more peace, joy, and realistically, I tell my clients, go for peace. Happy will come, but go for peace and less chaos within yourself, and just take a baby step in that direction.
Allow yourself to release the pressure that you've got, that you put on yourself. All right, Veronica, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great holiday.
Okay, you too. There's Veronica Sites, professional crisis counselor in Crowley.